Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, whatever. What are we doing today?
Canadian whiskey. So, it's Whatever Wednesday again. So we're drinking a non-bourbon.
Two bourbon drinkers trying something that's not a bourbon.
Right, so that's the age-old question. What happens when two die-hard bourbon drinkers drink, bam, Crown Royal, boom.
Boom.
So,
You've all seen the bag, you've all seen the bottle.
yes.
What's it taste like?
Standard Crown Royal.
In truth, I've had it, but it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, I had a little bit of this on my cruise just because I was like, well, let's have some Crown Royal. Why not? But I can't really remember what it tastes like. Now, most people buy this and they make drinks with it and stuff like that. It's very popular. It's kind of, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, this is Crown. This is a standard kind of go-to drinker for a lot of people.
Official drink is Crown and Coke, I thought. I didn't know that you could drink it without Coke.
Well, we might be violating some law of the universe here.
Well,
we're going to do it.
It'd be Canadian, so.
I like its little crown.
Yeah.
To go with I feel like the crown should be a little bit bigger, for its name, but. So, I don't know much about mash bill as far as this is concerned. I know Canadian whiskeys tend to be rye forward.
So we did a little bit of research on the internet, and we think it's rye first, then corn.
So like a rye whiskey.
Kind of a rye whiskey, American-ish.
And I know nothing about the legality of Canadian
what
whiskey
they can
as
and
far
can't
as
call.
as it relates to stringent bourbon laws and.
Right.
Kind of interesting nose. I don't really know what to make of that. Nothing wrong with it.
I'm guessing
a little youthful.
It would be used barrels.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know about their barrel aging.
Who knows?
Process.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could have done some research about this before.
We could. We know the corn and the rye come from Manitoba, which is a thing in Canada.
Sure.
So I'm getting really nice flavors, but they're real light and hard to name.
Yeah, it's a little grainy. That's why I wonder how old it is.
It is an 80 proofer, right? Yeah.
80 proof, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, for 80 proof, it's got a decent amount of.
So, at this point, all I'm getting is whiskey, kind of generic whiskey, and I don't mean that to be insulting. It's just
there's just nothing that's standing out.
Yeah, right. It's not vanilla forward or caramel forward or
maybe a little brown sugary forward. I mean, there's oak in there for sure.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a interesting mixture of oak and grain.
Sure.
Well, let's end the suspense and go in for the flavor here.
It's got some nice sweetness.
It does, but at 80 proof,
it's noticeable.
The palate does not drink with the boldness that the nose has. The nose, I think, had a lot going on, as far as it was a bold smell. It didn't come off as weak. The palate comes off as weak. So
I get nice, smooth flavors. They're not. They do feel watered down because it was at some proof, and then they dumped a bunch of water in it to make it 80 proof. That's noticeable, but it's still really good flavors. It's nice.
Yeah, the flavors aren't bad. There's nothing offensive about it. Does Crown Royal do a cask strength or anything like that? I'd be very interested in seeing what this would be like
awesome.
A cask strength.
So I was out bourbon hunting. Maybe
15th review today.
15th review today. And
it's only my second. Greg did 13 before he came over.
Yeah, and there's solid pours everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was out bourbon hunting, and this is 8 months ago. They had one of these in a purple oval box.
Oh, yeah.
A limited release, and so I picked one up. It was $80. And so at some point, we should probably do a comparison of their limited release, presumably special.
What's
versus,
the difference?
I don't know.
You paid $80 for it and you don't know what
I don't know. It looked great. It is like a great bottle.
Put whiskey in a tube and Greg will pay any amount of money for it.
Exactly. Well, that's how Buffalo Traces existed for so long.
Well, they don't have it in the tube in America. I wonder, do I have an 80 proofer on here that we could compare this to?
Basil Hayden.
I killed that.
Oh, man. What's this? No, that's probably 90.
Very old Barton. What's this one?
Well, that could be 90.
86.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do 86. That Cooper's Craft is 82, but that's so unique.
Wellington Creek.
It's a cask finish.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe we.
You seriously don't own an 80 proofer? Nah, don't touch those. That's a future video.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think I do.
10?
Jacob's Ghost.
Is that an 80?
Yeah, I think so, but that's a white whiskey, so.
Yeah. But we actually, to be honest, if you close your eyes, it kind of drank like like we still got bourbon notes off of it.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm getting a lot of vanilla on this now.
And almost apple.
I think they have a Crown apple.
Well, I don't mean like artificially flavored apple.
Right.
Like there's a crisp,
Like that light
honey
fruit
crisp
note.
apple. Mm-hmm. Like this is perfectly fine. Now, I get that a lot of people mix this with Coke, and I can see how that would be really, really good. Like, I'm kind of jealous I didn't get a little bit of Coke before I started this video, because I think it would be better.
Sure.
But there's nothing wrong with this. I genuinely like it.
Yeah, this isn't bad. There's nothing offensive about this.
Not at all.
Like, I know this is kind of I feel like this falls into a weird category, because some people consider Crown to be like the good whiskey. And it's not expensive. It's not.
And it's available everywhere.
Yeah, like, so I never understood how, like, maybe Crown is like the top shelf for whiskey Cokes. Like, maybe it's above Jack Daniels and Jim Beam in people's
and it's Canadian.
mind. Yeah.
International.
But and it comes in this cool bag, and it's got a great bottle. I mean, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And it's got a little crown on it, but the point, like, it's not an expensive whiskey. So it's not like, for some reason, I think it got like this top shelf sort of notion to it.
Huh.
You know?
I've never had that thought. Because they also do this exact,
and when I say top shelf, I mean top shelf amongst mixers. Like if you go to any standard bar, they've got the well.
Yep.
And this is usually in the...
Yeah, but they also do flavored versions of this with apple or peach or whatever.
Yeah.
Supposedly some of those are absolutely great. I tend not to like artificially flavored stuff, but I've had a few and they tend to be awesome. But overall, obviously, I prefer just straight bourbon, neat, in a glass.
This tastes different every sip I take.
You know, it does. Like, that's where the apple came from.
Yeah, the last sip I took was this is like all over the board. The last sip was all vanilla. This one is kind of that youthful grainy again, a little bit of barrel, but
I really want to know about what the barrels they're using are, because I'm getting some sort of like wood influence.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're new charred oak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not getting as much rye as I was expecting.
No.
I remembered this being a rye forward one, because I know a lot of Canadian
whiskeys
whiskeys
rye
are.
is first on their website, but
I'm not really getting. I mean, it's there, but it's not as much as I thought it would be. So yeah, I don't know. This is a weird one. I wish we had something to compare it to that would actually be fair. But I don't know that I would buy this to sip it neat.
I think I would.
Really?
I actually like it. It's got really.
I don't dislike it at all.
It's got really nice flavors, and it doesn't have any of the harshness that some bourbons do. That would push a traditional bourbon or a newbie to the bourbon world.
I have to try
out. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting, and I know that it's maybe its most common use is to mix it, but I think doing an old fashioned with this, or a Manhattan or something.
Maybe not a Manhattan, but an old fashioned. I was actually thinking that, like, if I was trying to pick out that rye note, and wonder if like this at a slightly higher proof would make a good old fashioned.
So
a good old fashioned with a nice rye forward bourbon or even a rye whiskey is nice. Yeah, that's just different. I don't know what.
I totally agree though that every sip has been kind of unique, and I think it's been building a little bit more to actually be really nice, pleasant flavors, but nothing really stands out. Like it's not.
I don't know what the hell is going on here. I really don't. No, I have not had a sip that's been bad or offensive. It's just watered down.
Yep.
It's weak, but yeah, it's just different every time, and I don't know what to say about it.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike it.
I don't remember the price, but
So
a
here's the thing.
$32 whiskey.
If I go over to somebody's house and this is the only whiskey they have, I'll absolutely sit and sip on this.
Well, you're still going to kick in the TV and knock over the fridge.
Well, sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, just stand.
And I don't mind this getting me there, you know? But no, I mean, I don't, I'm not enjoying drinking it. I just feel like, you know, it's the 80 proof point is something we struggle with.
But for this price, and I don't remember the exact price.
That's like $10 less.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm going Evan Williams every single time for sure.
Well, this is a surrogate for almost any bourbon because I tend to like bourbon flavors or bourbon notes a bit more. But I actually really, really like that. And if I were allowed, and well, I could probably visit Canada. You can't because they kicked you out or wouldn't let you in or.
Oh no, that was just because I didn't have my COVID test at the time, not because of any criminal activity.
So the next time you visit the Canada,
Have I been kicked out? No.
So when you visit, I think you should try it. And you know what, maybe it's better. So two things. Number one, would it be better with maple syrup? The answer is obviously yes.
Yeah.
Would it be better in Canada? And that's an unknown. We should probably take this.
Well, I'll be in Canada in 3 months, so we'll figure that out.
I think you need to order a crown.
But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't, if I go to a friend's house and this is all they have, I'll easily sip on this and enjoy it. I just don't know exactly how to describe it. I would say there's definitely some vanilla and oak and some youthful grain. Overall, that's what I'm really getting out of it.
Yep.
But I feel like each one of those flavors is super dominant on like every other sip. Like I'll take a sip and it's just all vanilla, and it's just all grain, and it's all oak.
Yeah.
So it's interesting for sure. I would love to see it like 100 proof for this, and then try to like do like an old fashioned like we were talking. I think that would actually probably be really good.
Yep.
So I wonder, I'm gonna go on the World Wide Web and see if they have like what kind of different, I know they have a bourbon mash bill one that they
don't know what that means. I don't know if it's,
well, it's just,
legally a bourbon, but
it's not because it's made in Canada. But they do a bourbon mash bill, and I think they maybe age it like bourbon. You know,
cool.
So it's Canadian bourbon, but they can't call it bourbon because it's Canada.
But they are calling it bourbon.
And we have that. No, it's bourbon mash or whatever the name is. Or if they have like a cast strength one or something like that, it'd really be interesting in trying that.
Yeah.
So, well, now I want to know what that limited edition one is that
we should do that as a review.
That you paid $80 for, having no idea.
No, it was a risk, but it's a great looking bottle. So
does it look just like this?
No, it's slightly different. It's very fancy.
Okay.
It's very fancy.
All right. Well,
so a future edition of the Whatever Wednesday we will be visiting the Canada once again.
All right. Well, this has been Crown Royal on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Cheers.
Jesus, didn't that hurt?
Oh, it was loud.
It was loud.